Hey everybody, it's Shane here from VidGamiac.com. Here we are today back in the end transmission update for Dead by Daylight, going for the Adept Gabriel achievement. This one is going to be done from the survivor side. You're going to have to play as Gabriel Soma for this, so make sure you grab him from the DLC pack or the in-game store. You are going to also have to get him to a minimum of level 10 to open up 3 perk slots, as this achievement is going to be to escape during a game only using his unique perks. The perks you want to run are going to be Troubleshooter, made for this, and then finally you're going to want Scavenger. Leave the 4th slot if you have that available to you, and you can do whatever you want for items, add-ons, or offerings. I'm highly going to recommend that you take a toolbox with you into the game, as one of his perks is going to revolve heavily around a depleted toolbox. So make sure you bring one of those in with you, and then we're going to hit up our first generator. Make sure you try to burn through that first toolbox as quickly as possible so we can take advantage of the perk in the early game. So once you find your generator, just make sure you exhaust the toolbox on it. Obviously, if you are in a safe area, feel free to finish up the repairs on the generator if you really want to, but the perk Scavenger is going to kick in as soon as you are carrying a depleted toolbox. So once your toolbox is out of charges, it's time to use the perk. The way the Scavenger perk is going to work is basically if you are carrying a depleted toolbox, you can look in an empty treasure chest, and then you should be guaranteed to fish out another toolbox. So once you have a depleted toolbox in hand, I am going to recommend that you hit up the basement right away. If you are doing this in the early game, the basement should still have its treasure chest here, so just make sure you look for it and open it. Even if someone has looted it already, you can still take advantage of the perk. Make sure you open up the chest if it's still locked, and then make sure you grab what's inside. Then what you want to do is want to make sure you try to fumble the items around. Just make sure you place both of them out in the open nearby, and then make sure you have your depleted toolbox in hand. Once you have that, you are going to want to go back to the now empty treasure chest, and then you should be able to take advantage of the perk and then rummage through it in order to pull out another treasure chest. So you should be able to get 2 pulls out of the same chest this way. And you can use this perk once per chest, thankfully. So if you know where more chests are, you can do this to get a ton of toolboxes, which is going to help you out with your generator repairs in the early game. So just make sure you sprinkle your loot around, and then hopefully you have some buddies who can take advantage of all of these extra items, and then everyone can have a good time in the early on trying to get those quick generator repairs. As for his other perks, the first one is going to be Troubleshooter. This one's going to kick in whenever you are being chased by the killer. It's basically going to reveal to you the generator that has the most progress on it whenever you are in the midst of a chase. And you can also drop a pallet in order to see where the killer is. Not really a useful perk, as you are probably going to be busy when it kicks in trying to get away from the killer, so this one can be pretty much ignored. As for his third perk, this one can be useful. It's going to kick in whenever you are in the injured state. So if you are down 1 health state, you're going to be given the haste status condition, which is going to allow you to move faster, obviously. And if you happen to heal someone while injured, you should also get to the endurance status condition, which is going to give you an extra shielded hit, which may or may not come in handy, although it's not going to be terribly useful, as you'd probably want to rather be at full health and get a slight speed boost. But do take advantage of it if it does come in handy. But of course, you are going to definitely want to try to stick to your Dead by Daylight fundamentals, as always, as that's going to be more useful than any perk can ever be. Nonetheless, using this subpar build, you're going to want to try to escape during a game. You can escape through either method. You can either go out through one of the 2 exit gates, or you can escape through the hatch if that situation presents itself. If you can manage a game where you get to the results screen with the escape status intact, you should be good for the achievement. There it is. This one's going to be for 20 gamer score, and that's all there is to it.